Happy days are here again. We're in lockdown. I'm going round the bend.
Oh dear. I don't think he's kidding.
I'm not. I've lost the freaking plot today, everyone. I have lost el plotto. Bonjour, Sen Monroe. I really have lost.
Good afternoon, whatever it is.
Must be Wednesday, says Paul Andrews. Not half pop pickers. All right, out of Unit 1 into Unit 2. And how about a little bit of Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick, and you know who, all right? One of the greatest broadcasters of all time. What an honor to have worked with him. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on this subject. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, baby. Why have I got wires appearing out of nowhere? We don't know.
Wires?
We don't know, baby. Ramsey Musalam. He's got a name that no one can spell. Good afternoon to you, Ed Grossman. Happy Wednesday. Kimmy Lashmar. Hello, everyone. I'm loving life because I just put my washing in before it pissed down. You're a genius, Kimmy Lashmar. Paul Claridge. Oh, man. Good afternoon from sunny Croydon.
Clearly,
the words good afternoon and sunny in Croydon should never appear in the same sentence. What the hell?
Bonjour à tu.
Bonjour, François Pascal. Vous êtes très, très belle.
Hang on. I think we forgot someone.
Where? You phantom. Crazy name. Crazy gal. Yesterday.
You're feeling a bit twitchy today, clearly. I think you need to explain yourself.
I can't face another 6 months of this crap. I don't mean our broadcasting. I do.
Yes, very good.
No, it's just, how does everybody feel? Barry J. Allen. Oh, you save every one of us. Gordon's alive. How does everyone feel? How are you doing? Have you made any thoughts? Have you made any plans? Have you made any preparations? Ramsey Wymer-Solomon is a bit miserable just south of sunny Croydon. Ramsey, I know. This is just Paul. Paul lives in a parallel universe where Croydon is like Paris, which is why he carries a ladder. Kimmy Lashmar, how come it's sunny up the road in South Croydon when it's peeing down with rain here in Caterham? Kimmy, take no notice of whatever Paul Claridge says. It's all gone to his head. Sen Monroe, can I have a Turkish whirling dervish? Yes. Can we find some Turkish music for Sen Monroe?
I don't know. Can we?
Well, you'd have to do it because you're head of ops, chief tech genius guru, everything else. Hi guys from lovely Suffolk. Oh no, Suffolk. All right. No, we like Suffolk. What the hell are you playing here? What is that?
What is this? It's like a wasp.
I don't know. It sounds like someone's blowing down a tube of a tin of Bako roll when it's empty. Oh.
Sen, seriously, I'm sorry, but
what the hell was that?
I did a search on a certain music platform for Turkish music, right?
Yeah.
And that's what comes up. Really?
It wasn't a delight. See what I did there?
Oh, sorry.
Try a bit of Zorba the Greek. You can't do Zorba the Greek if you're Turkish. You have to beat yourself up. You never go into the garden and smack yourself in the face.
Okay. Let's give it one more try. Hang on a second. Let's try this. There's another one here. Let's see what this is. Oh, I like this.
Hang on. All right, crank it up, baby. Crank it up. Yeah, I'm feeling it, baby.
Oh, fabulous.
That's all right. Put me in the mood. Then all you got to have is Sam and Roy going, hi, everybody. Peeps, I got butter cigar for everybody. He brings out a Will's whiff.
Oh, I really have a...
Jeremy Brannan.
Hang on, I have a real hankering for Zhajik now.
For what?
Zhajik.
Is that a girlfriend?
No.
Who's she? She no pair next door?
No, it's a Turkish hors d'oeuvre.
Is it? What's it made of?
Well, in Greece they call it tzatziki, but it's pretty much...
Why couldn't you just say that and stop being flash? We know tzatziki. We get it from Tesco's.
I'm not being flash.
You save every one of us. These days, Sen's more jazz than Dave. You guys. San Monroe. Oh, I'm back in Istanbul. Don't forget to send a postcard. I've never been there. Is it nice? Jeremy Brannan. I'm coming back as a dog next life. They can't the difference. Oh, can't tell. I think we're missing the word tell. Can't tell the difference between American dreaming.
Beautiful chin. You've got beautiful skin. You've got a beautiful face.
Come on, Tottenham.
You've got taste.
Love it. Anyway,
Chaz and Dave were great, weren't they?
fabulous.
Not only because they were the number one Tottenham fans, but they were just brilliant musicians.
And
I thought it came easy.
well, it was very exciting.
Sam Monroe, have you got a problem with Tesco's? Now that you're a movie mogul and you think you're a big shot, you know, you're not a big wheel, baby. You're a tricycle. What's wrong with Tesco? If you can provide me with better food, I will hook up with you and just pick it up. You know, if you want to do that, that's fine by me.
I mean,
Yeah.
you say that.
Huh?
You say that, but
I do say that. Yeah, if he says, look, I've got all this stuff for you. It's been sent over from Turkey, from my family there. I'll come pick it up. Failing that, I'll go to Tesco's. Actually, I won't go to Tesco's. I go to Vimmel, who runs a little shop across the road. Zatziki from Tesco. Well, where would you like me to go, apart from to hell in a handcart? You should go to Istanbul. It's fabulous, says Chrissy Holt, who's also Chrissy Richards, who's Keith Richards' sister.
oh,
She's not really. I just made that up. I just thought it sounded good.
wow.
I'm just bigging her up.
You almost had me
I
excited.
just thought that'd be great. Paul Claridge. Would you like to read Paul's post, please? Because Paul is obviously on heavy drugs. What's that? I can't see it. Keep it still. What is it?
Is a pet corrector.
Okay.
And you have to
What does that
determine the size of this. It could be the size of a lipstick, or it could be.
Shove it up his arse or something. What is that?
This
What
is
is
a
that?
very clever little invention that when the dogs start yapping and barking, what you do,
Yeah.
then you
You
might
hit
like.
them over the head with the tin.
Not quite. You might like this for Ziggy if he needs retraining. But what you do is you see here, it looks a little bit like a little foghorn, right?
Yeah,
What
go on.
it emits a real quick sound, and the dogs don't like
I
that.
could do that after scrambled eggs.
And the dogs don't like that sound. So what happens is if you emit that, then they shut up and they stop doing what they're doing.
Do they?
It's true. Anyway, Paul Claridge says, Croydon.
There's so many gags we could do there.
Paul Claridge says, Croydon is
Porridge.
a crime-free paradise where unicorns roam freely and where Russ Kane is Kane? Oh, shut up, Phil. Screwed that up. Use take two.
Take two, love. Take two, love. We've got that for safety. Take two, love. Hello. Hang on. Stephen, this is Clem Fandango. Can you hear me? Read it.
Yes.
Again.
Anyway, Paul Claridge says that Croydon is eternally sunny, a crime-free paradise where unicorns roam freely and where Russ Kane is seen as a god, as in mention him. And the locals say, oh, God.
I've never liked Paul Claridge. Really. I never really got the point. Ed Grossman, I've been to Istanbul.
Wow.
Amazing place. It's hard to get a beer with your kebab, though.
Well, obviously.
What's the point? I'm not going then. Hang on. Do they serve wine with a kebab?
No, obviously not. If it's a Muslim country, then there's very little alcohol.
I'm not slapping to a Muslim country, so I can't have a drink. What's the point?
Are you joking? It's like some of the healthiest food ever. It's amazing. And actually, you feel really refreshed.
Stop.
What?
I don't care. You're having a kebab, you want to have a glass of something. You can't just have a nothing. Look at Sam Monroe, permanently off his face. Maybe that's just him.
Having said that, though, when I was in Turkey, it was I stayed in one of the really touristy areas, and they obviously know their market because, believe me, there was no shortage of alcohol there. And actually, to be fair, Turkey is sort of like more cult. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Sen, and you help me out here, but I think that Turkey is sort of more culturally Muslim rather than religiously Muslim, and as a result of it, alcohol is around. It's not bad.
Not after their leader gets finished with it. It'll be like downtown Syria the time that lunatic's finished. Marvelous post from Maya Razel. Come on, what's it say? It's really good.
What?
Read his post out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Right, got one job to do. How tricky is it?
Well, excuse me. Maya said.
I get Ebony to do. I get Ebony to read it out.
Maya says Boris Johnson and the British Bake Off were on TV concurrently yesterday evening. Regardless of which channel you viewed, you would have subsequently witnessed an eaten mess.
Isn't that a good gag? That is a Maya, that's a great gag. That is seriously good. I love that. Turkey is freely available.
Excellent.
Well, it is
work.
at Christmas time usually with a bit of. Let's go.
Oh,
Egg Grossman, Russ. Oh, here we go. Russ, the trick was to take your own booze in a brown paper bag. It adds to the fun. I like it.
right, 12. Come on, Ed. Really?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like the way it's going. Melanie Hutchins.
I like
For
it.
my-
It's about breaking rules. That's all.
We are iconoclasts. We don't
Oh,
care.
Andrew,
We're on the
I'll-
highway. I'll pass. Thanks.
Oh,
Can
can we go and do a show in Turkey? I think that would cheer everyone up.
You think? I'm not going. Hey, you know what I did today to cheer myself up? I'll tell you what I did today.
Add a
I
cigar.
planned- No, not yet. I will do that later. Alcohol is freely. Sam Monroe, ladies and gentlemen, part-time film director, part-time script writer, ex-CID murder detective, and now full-time travel agent. I tell you what I did. I went online and I started planning my Trans-America trip. When this is over and America's Civil War is finished and, they've cleared it all up and we've got back to some sort of law and order over there because it's going to be brutal, I'm going to fly to New York. I'm going to pick up an RV and I'm going to drive across America. That's my plan. Do it before I die. And I was looking at the costs, the places to rent them, the different types of vans. I think that's what I'm going to do. What do you think?
What's an RV?
So much to learn, so little time. Recreational vehicle. You live in it.
Oh,
It's fabulous. The American ones are fantastic. It's not like some crappy little caravan. This is sensational. It's great.
Melanie
Come on.
Hutchins. You think we'll have a shortage of turkeys this Christmas?
No, they'll still be in government. I have no idea. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hang on, I forgot I was wearing this.
No, I don't think there'll be a shortage of
Thank you very
turkey.
much.
Having said,
Thank you very much. I went to the doctor the other day. I said, Doctor, sometimes I think I'm a wigwam. Sometimes I think I'm a TP. He said, relax, you're too tense.
I went to the
I must be a
doctor.
very good driver.
I said, doctor, yes, when I do this. And he said, well, don't do it. Okay.
I must be a very good driver. I got back to my car. Someone put a note on my windscreen. Parking fine. Anyway, there we go. Thank you. You don't get that on Radio 4. Try
Well,
James
quite.
O'Brien telling Tommy Cooper gags. There's your dad moving like greased lightning. Julia Hersey likes it. I don't know. I hate Christmas. Love the T-shirt. Thank you, Ed. This T-shirt. You love to see. Let me just explain why I love this. I got.
Oi. Sorry, you cannot be that bar humbug. What is wrong with you? I hate Christmas. Come on.
I do. I no, because it's a. Hey, excuse me. This T-shirt, right, which says Tommy Gunn, is manufactured by a company that supports soldiers who have been in combat. No. So first of all, I'm a Tommy Cooper nut, and I sent the same shirt to Lloyd to cheer him up, and this shirt, I love Tommy Cooper, and he's holding a machine gun, so it's called Tommy Gunn, and they support soldiers who need their help. So a lot of the money from the T-shirts go to the soldiers, and so it's it's a win-win for me. I love it. Russ, my wife and I were planning the RV tour around Menorca this year. Oh, well, Martin, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Can we arrange a pre-Christmas kebab fest in Why have you got to add Haringey? It was going so well, Sen, until you said the word Haringey. I have no desire to go to Haringey. Can we go somewhere else? Tell you where we go.
Where the Haringey that you're talking about is, because I thought it was EY.
No, it's Haring. I don't know. Maybe Sen's on the turn, and it's Haringey. Could be. Now he's in showbiz. Now he's not a policeman anymore. Now he's in showbiz.
Hang on.
Spoon jar spoon.
Spoon jar, spoon. Fabulous.
I loved them. Loved them. Absolutely. And it was very interesting. I showed him to the twin. I said, you'll love this. You'll love this.
Can I just say?
And Twin One goes, I guess it was funny at the time. Walked out the room.
Blasphemy! Unbelievable.
It's like, what the hell? I want to thank my best pal in the world, Lloyd Bean. Lloyd did something really, really, really nice. Serious for a second. He did something really nice out of boredom or out of just a cri de coeur. Lloyd on his Facebook this morning put, I think it was like 10 things to keep me happy or something like that. And he did a whole list of stuff that Lloydsky likes, like the Beatles, and we're both Beatle nuts, etc. And then he put men's radio station. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. That actually meant a lot. It really did. I agree, Russ. We don't get that on Radio 4. We get Paul Claridge. When I see you, cancer or not, you're going to get a bitch slap. I don't care. That's it. You had a chance. I agree, Russ. We don't get that on Radio 4. We get comedy, which is actually funny on Radio 4. I never liked him. And tolerated him because of the cancer, but I don't really like him now. Screw him. What's he ever done for me? What's he ever done for you? Poor Claridge. He stands up in all weathers, handing out free newspapers, gets spat on, abused, and punched. Paul is one of the nicest people you could imagine. And it just goes to the human condition. I've said it before, and I will say it again. He's giving out free newspapers, and they abuse him. Why would you do that? What is wrong with people that you would do that? Christy Holt, from sitting on the middle of her tractor in a field in Spain, you think I'm joking, we had no problem with alcohol in Turkey, even the dog in the bar was... Put it up on... Can you... Oh, he's busy. He's getting his holler order in for Friday. Even the dog in the bar was drinking alcohol. Ed Grossman, a warning.
I like that. I think it would be good fun to have an inebriated dog.
You think?
I think so.
But they look like they're pissed anyway. They go round. Does your dogs do this? And they go. I did this in my stand-up routine once, and they go round and round and round and round and round and round, and then they settle as though the place has changed by the fact that they're going round. It's the same place.
No, it has changed because it looks like there's two of them all over the place.
Because they're dizzy.
Yes.
I think dogs get dizzy when they do that.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Honestly, because I remember when I was a little more infantile, and I probably didn't know that there was such a thing as the RSPCA, and that I may very well have been called on if they would have only known. But back in the day, our dog Basil, who sadly is no longer with us, and I'm hastened to add this.
Let's just dwell on that for a second. Basil.
This is not the reason why he's no longer with us. I'm quite hastened to add. But anyway, what happened is that I was holding Basil, and I was spinning around and going to get myself dizzy. And when I put Basil back on the floor again, he genuinely was a bit wobbly. So I think dogs do absolutely get dizzy.
That's your opportunity to find You Spin Me Round by the bloke who died. Pete.
Yes.
Name's gone blank. Sorry, everybody. Not being rude. Can't remember.
Oh, is it?
Good afternoon, team.
Townsend.
This is the best. Is this the coolest name? Not Pete Townsend, you idiot. Jameson Wisdom. Is that not the coolest name?
Hang on, who's Pete Townsend?
Pete Townsend founded The Who with Roger Daltrey, John Entwistle, and Keith Moon. What's the matter with you?
Who's Pete Price?
Who's Pete Price? He's a plumber in Haringey. What the hell do I know? Who's Pete Price? I don't know who Pete Price is. Who's Pete? You're just making this up.
No,
who's Katie Price? Katie Price is a woman who's got a Tupperware bowl for her face. I don't know. Here we go.
And I wasn't making this up. Pete Price is a broadcaster. He's a broadcaster in Liverpool.
Well, what's that got to do? What's that got to do with the price of eggs?
No, it hasn't got anything to do with it. I got the wrong name.
What the hell's that got to do with it?
Melanie, Pete Burns.
Thank you, Melanie. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round. That one.
It was Pete somebody. Give me credit for that.
Right. Could have been Peter Townsend, who was engaged to Princess Margaret till they called it off.
Oh, yeah.
Then he went on to form The Who. What a career he had. Chrissy Holt, Phil, I'm nosy. What does Dad get out of the cupboard? Drugs. Basically, Phil's father is the... in charge of the Hertfordshire Massif and the Hertfordshire Cartel. He's simply known as El Jefe. And, he's giving out orders, kill this one, bury that one, hand out that £500,000 of coke. That's what he's doing. It's all kept in that cupboard behind Phil. That's basic. Am I right? Or is that just the wrong guess?
I did sort of ask you here to yourself, but yeah, sort of.
Okay. Well, what are they going to do? Phone the police? Julia Hersey, Tupperware bowl. Yeah, I know. Have you ever? Right. So, Chrissy Holt. Chrissy, the honest answer is I have no idea what's in the cupboard. But maybe Mrs. Dave lives. Do you know what another idea is? Mrs. Dave could be living in that cupboard, and he just hands her a sandwich every hour or something. How do I know?
This
What's
is
in the
it.
cupboard?
Why are all these messages aimed at you today? Afternoon all. Just a quick in and out again. Russ, I've left you a
Story
few
of my life.
which you can use if you want on the show, as I'm in and out today. Great.
What am I going to do now? I've left you a few message. I can't start reading other messages and go onto another screen. I dare not. Pete Burns, dead or alive, is not alive.
Could you imagine if I did that?
Yeah, imagine if you... Chrissy Holt, my horse Beauty, loved brandy. When we went riding and had a pub lunch, she had to share my drink. That sounds hygienic, Chrissy. I think like a great horse tongue whacking into your brandy glass.
No.
I know this is a great idea from Kimmy Lashmar. Maybe we could make it a quiz and guess what's in the cupboard today. Do you know what? That is a freakingly good... Phil.
Yeah.
Right. Every day now, for like a week or so, what we're going to do, you're going to hide something random from Phil Dave Towers in the cupboard. Everyone has to guess what it is, and the winner gets a virtual pat on the back. I think that's a crackingly good little quiz. People love quizzes. Let's do that. What do you think?
What's in Phil's closet?
I wasn't going to go there. You brought it up. Anything you want to share? Now's the time.
Well, frankly, I think I overshare on this program already, so I don't quite know how much more I've got to give, but I'll try and find something, I guess.
Right, Lloyd Beanie. I'm about to remove the eyes from... What the hell? From 5C Bream. You're about to remove the eyes from 5C Bream. That's the way we roll in NW3. Beanies, meet the Beanies. They're a strictly kosher family. From the town of Hampstead, they live in NW3.
Does that mean you're updating your iCod?
Hey, he's in the right place. I tell you what, his wife's haddock up to here with him.
I mean, I tell you what, on a scale of 1 to 10, these fish jokes are nearly Finn. There was 2 there, just in case.
Thank you. Hey, Phil, that last joke was back of the net. Oh, okay.
Anyway, I think we just ran dry.
Get your jacket, Phil. It's lovely.
Oh,
we love Phil.
Today's jacket is from
M&S.
Oh, there you go. It's a limited edition by Top Man, apparently.
I thought it was going to be something really exotic.
Oh,
that's the old Bobby Davro go. The old job Bobby Davro go. Oh, you get in the audience. You go, Top Man. No, not you. You're close. Top Man. Trawling for jokes. Very good, Sen. That is very good. Maya, am I permitted to make a brief appearance on your glorious show for this impending Friday afternoon, owing to it constituting my 40th birthday? Yeah.
Well, seeing as
put him on. Yeah, we'll do that. Beginning of the show, we'll do it on Friday.
Well, Mayor, seeing as you already appeared on the show and got such a superb reaction the last time you did, it would be remiss of us not to.
Yeah, we're going to have him on the show. We'll have him on the show. Wish him happy birthday. Phil.
Adjust your set.
Hey, Phil, you've had your ships. Nothing. All he's doing is stuffing his face. Years gone by, says Martin Allen, my Rottie, that's a Rottweiler and not family member, had to have a pint when I went out. And yes, my 14-stone dog used to get drunk. Funny as hell in the morning with a hangover. A Rottweiler with a hangover. I don't even know how
That's a bit like me after a night on the lash.
Your idea of a light on a lash is a bucket of water and a wine gum. You're anybody's. Paul Andrews, limited to Rupert the Bear. Yes, his jacket was limited to Rupert the Bear. Chrissy Holt, he loves a bargain. Paul's on form today. Must be a special ladder. Phil's in Hertfordshire, where Top Man is exotic.
Now look here, Claridge.
Hey, time to ask your dad what's in. Hey, he's going to the. Oh, he didn't go to the cupboard. We wanted him to go to the cupboard, everybody.
I will have you know that there are some parts of Hertfordshire that are actually quite exclusive.
Yeah. What? Like Costco?
They're so exclusive that I can't find them, but they are.
There's Costco in Costco's near you, isn't it? Not too far. How far is it to you from
Round
Costco? Huh?
It takes me from here. It would take me about 5 minutes to get to Costco.
Oh man, I used to like Costco.
Actually,
I'd
no,
go in for like a packet of peas and come out with a TV. What can you do? It's there. What the hell have you brought back? Nothing. Nothing. That's not what I asked you to get.
Ooh,
But
what's
look at it. It's great. It's not. We can't cook a television. That is true, my beloved. That is true. However, what's in the cupboard? I don't know. Now what's going on? Why have I got to see a picture of a dog with a bow tie, for God's sake?
Well, no, I thought you might like to see a drunken dog.
Oh, that's very nice. No, he looks sophisticated. He looks like he's about to have his first cocktail of the evening. I think that would be Canal Janur if he was a dog. Well, hello. What's your name, my lovely?
Really? Sorry. London Colney is the height of exotic. Really?
It was. They had what's the American bookstore, everybody? Come on, it went bust. Borders. They had a Borders there. And when I lived up in North London, I used to like to go there and sort of.
I'm having a cereal bar.
Why have you got to do it now? What is this? You couldn't wait for like another 34 minutes to stuff your gob. Lloyd Bean. Yes, this is a good point. Would you like to read this out from Lloyd? The Costco. It's a Costco. It's a Costco. No, it serves you right for eating. So now you're going to do it. Embarrass yourself. Good. Or maybe choke. Ha ha.
Hang on.
For God's sake, I can't wait. Phil, next time you're there, Costco, please pick up some lavatory paste tissue. Where did you get so posh, Beanie?
Lloyd Beanie says, Phil, next time you're there, please pick up some lavatory tissue. There's a terrible echo going on here. You couldn't, hang on, you couldn't wait 33 minutes, could you, before someone comes to visit? Oh, he's gone.
Shut up.
Wait very long, did he? Good Lord. Right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll fly solo whilst he's off to go and answer the door. I think that would be a much better feature, actually. People say they want to know what's in the cupboard, but having said that, I think it'd be better who's at the door. We could kind of make it a bit like what Noel's house party in Crinkly Bottom. That was it. Noel's house party, where he used to have a mysterious knock at the door. I think that'd be a much better feature. So when Russ gets back from whoever's at the front door, we'll put that to him. Chrissy Holt says, Phil, what are you eating? I had jacket with prawns. Well, I've got a jacket, but no prawns in there, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. Anyway, Russ and I were talking about before the start of the show. We had said that we were going to come on to a relatively serious topic, which may surprise you, actually, because I know that we obviously don't always go that serious. But no, sure enough, we actually were toying with the idea of doing something serious today. Oh, he's back. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on. Right, you ready for this? Here he is. Oh,
I have to get the door for this.
What? Sorry, over 50 life insurance. Oh, sucks to be you. Anyway, I was saying, Russ, that before
that.
What? I didn't know. You're supposed to hear it.
I know it sucks to be me. You don't have to tell everybody.
It doesn't suck.
Get on with it.
Okay. I was saying that we were talking before we went live about actually quite a serious point. And that is that we were talking about, obviously, yesterday's announcement. And how we feel about it, and it seems to have hit you quite hard.
It has, yeah. Because yesterday we decided to go out and enjoy, but what was going to be the last day of summer, so we did, which was lovely, and enjoyed the sunshine. And then I spent an hour watering my terrazzo, and then the clouds came over, and I thought that it really is. It's in literature, it's called a pathetic fallacy. And that's the is it called? Yes, it is.
That's on my dating advert.
A pathetic fallacy. Lives in Hertfordshire. Got own car. It seems to be working for you.
I know that.
You're busy.
Queuing.
And the queuing. Maybe what your dad is doing is issuing numbers and wristbands for the women in the queue round the block, stretching back to Costco. Could be.
Never thought of it like that.
No, I'd like to think of it.
I've been interested enough to ask him.
No, you speak. Do you ever speak to him? Or is he just wandering in and out of shop? We don't know.
He doesn't really listen, to be honest.
No, well, I have to.
Kind of grown immune.
He's got an option. Anyway, anywho, so and I just thought, oh man, and then the reason I was kind of losing hope and getting really cheesed off is that You know, we're so divided. We came through the Brexit debacle. We came through the election hell. And then you'd think that a pandemic globally would kind of bring people together. No, you could choose any subject, and people now are so messed in the head. You have to have polar opposites, and this is what I just got the feeling that if everyone had abided, if we'd, as opposed to people arsing around, oh, it's not going to affect me, and I'm going to be fine. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a medical expert. You're not a medical expert. Most of our listeners are not medical experts. The experts we get on are medical experts, but it's just so frustrating. It's just so frustrating. And there's so many conflicting views. You know, people say, why don't we do what Sweden does? Well, you know, Sweden's got a population of 3.5 people and a moose and a couple of Volvos. That's why. And it's not densely populated. Stockholm, which is a major city, busy, but it's not like London, not like New York. So I don't know. I think it's the fact that no one knows what they're doing, and they're all second guessing and shoving out.
I think that actually a little more respect would be garnered if they actually said that. If the government would just be honest enough to say, look, we're kind of learning as we go along, which was sort of known anyway, but we're kind of learning as we go along. Things will change as we get a better understanding, but we need you to work with us, and please don't sort of hate us if we do suddenly have to change. If they actually just showed a little more of a human side, I actually think that they would get more people with them rather than against them.
Well, do you remember that we had Anna Hood with her band of men on the show last Friday? And
Who's Anna Hood? Jokes. So yes, we did. The superb Anna Hood.
She was excellent, absolutely excellent. We're going to get her back. And there was good reaction to her. And she was really articulate and fun too. And I think, you know, we're learning as we go along. And I get that. That's okay. We can understand we're learning as we go along because we haven't encountered this before. People can understand that. No one's expected to know absolutely everything. But when you're being so prescriptive about what everyone's going to do, and you're thinking, where's that? Is that going to work? What's the rule of 6? Is that going to be different than the rule of 8? I'm serious. I'm not being facetious. And the 10 o'clock thing where the virus sits there going, oh, what's the time? No, 10 to 10, can't kill anybody. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Let's go. Of course not. I don't understand that. Because people can't be responsible. It's just people can't be responsible. The simplest thing in the world, wear a freaking mask on the bus and the tube. It's the law. There's posters everywhere. They don't do it. It's not enforced. So it's a waste of time.
I think that's what frustrates me the most, is if only they would come down harder on those who blatantly flout the rules, and they're not even remotely coy about it. They are so shameless.
They don't give a shit. Sorry, but that's exactly their attitude. They don't care. They don't care. Kimmy Lashmar, there's still no country where I'd rather be. No, it's a lovely country. It's a smashing country. And there's a lot to be very proud of. But it seems to be a small number of people, relatively, in percentage terms, that have messed it up. I don't know. I mean, and the other thing is, and I really do struggle with this, the whole thing was save the NHS. Well, we saved the NHS, and we all stood on our balconies and on the street, and we all clapped. And for, 5 nanoseconds, we were all united. It was all great. And that's just disappeared like morning mist. And now everybody's got a different view. Everybody's an expert. We're not. I
always hate it. I mean, it seems like the last few years, that's what we've had to tolerate with everything. Everyone is an expert.
That's my point. Everyone's an expert. Helen, the hairdresser from Stoke-on-Trent, is a world global pandemic expert.
You see, I think the biggest problem with that is that we now have a situation where people can get their information from so many different sources that they sort of collate it in their own sort of unique way, rather than in the early days where actually sort of all of the news gathering was done for us, where we just had sort of ITV and BBC and Channel 4 and all that. We literally just had a set way of getting our news. People would obtain the news in a very similar fashion. And then, rather than process the news, they would process their opinion of said news item. And so, of course, now what people are doing is they're gathering their own bits of information. They're highlighting the bits that they want from what they've read, where they've wanted to read it. And subsequently, that's what makes them an expert, because they've not actually necessarily processed the news. They're just more processing what they think is the news. And it's a horrible world we live in, right? Frankly,
it's all buffet, it's like a buffet. Let's have a buffet of news. Let's have a buffet of information. Oh, I like that bit. No, I don't really like that. I'm going to put that bit on my plate. That's going to be my tweet. That's going to be my Facebook thing. And it's like, wow. But how do we think we've got any chance? I said to you on Sunday when I was filming that one of the extras said to me, I'm not having the inoculation because they put nanobots into the injection, and the nanobots are linked to the 5G masks and they can follow you. What in the name of God? How can you possibly get through this if people are that bonkers? All right, Paul Andrews. Do you want to read this one out? Paul Andrews?
Boris Johnson, 10th of May. When this began, we hadn't seen this disease before, and we didn't fully understand its effects. With every day, we are getting more and more data, which is pretty much saying we are learning as we go.
Yeah.
It is, but just say that in English. Not you, Paul. Bojo.
Ed Grossman, I just wish people would stop whining.
I agree.
About what? About having to wear a mask. It's not like you're going to have... it's a mask. Get over it. If you got to wear it, you got to wear it. Okay, it's not forever.
Chrissy says that supposedly here in Spain, the government have told doctors not to give papers to allow some people not to wear masks, i.e. asthma sufferers or autistic children. Most do wear masks, but usually teens that don't.
Yeah. See, I don't understand the 10 o'clock thing. I genuinely don't, because people are either going to start drinking earlier or go home and get drunk if they got to get drunk. What is the 10 o'clock thing? I genuinely don't understand the logic. I'm really happy to embrace, and I will follow all the rules. You've followed all the rules, Phil, meticulously. I've done my best, right? I've been really cautious. My partner is furiously cautious and really, really, really careful. And, I do a bit more than she does, etc. But, I know Lloyd's been incredibly careful. Larry, all our pals. Here we go. Oh, she's here. Oh, looks like a sensible thing for once. Christ, you better read it. I can't believe it's sensible from him.
Timmy says the Boris speech was aimed at the rule breakers and will then land on deaf ears as they still doing what they've been doing all through this pandemic, which is exactly what they want without regards for others. I'm livid about it and couldn't hate rule breakers anymore if I tried. That's the problem. That's exactly what the problem is there's no point whatsoever in aiming a lecture
at us,
because I'm not
doing everything. We've done everything that we've been told to do, like good little citizens.
But individuals who are that way inclined, they're not going to suddenly respond. They're not going to realize the error of their ways and say, "Oh my God, all this time, and absolutely, I should start listening and I should start following the rules because otherwise, someone else's health might suffer." They don't care less. The only language they understand is really coming down heavy on them, because if you punish them in a way that befits their selfish, stupid behavior, then there's a chance they might get the message.
They won't. I never knew. It's unfair. Now, Ed Grossman, there's some really good points. By the way, Timmy, thank you for that. It's the only sensible thing you've ever written. So you can be sensible. We will have you on the show, I promise. I said it. Ed Grossman, why are you looking for logic? Because I think the only way you want to have logic, because that's how you get through life. I'm really willing to abide by every rule. I'm a pretty law-abiding guy. But if there's no logic, like it's 2:00 in the morning, you're trying to get to a studio, and I used to do that at another radio station with Petri, and it's 2:15 in the morning. I'm the only person on the road. I've got to drive at 20 miles an hour. There's not going to be people going to school 2 in the morning. I actually do understand the 10 o'clock rule. It's to stop the drunks getting sillier and closer to people. Oh, okay. See, this is the pathetic thing. Timmy's right. That's
the problem with that, though, is that people are just going to start drinking earlier, potentially.
Of course they are. That's what I said that earlier. They better start drinking at 3. Get some pints in. Maya Razel. Sweden enjoys greater prospects of attaining a degree of natural herd immunity, if ever possible, owing to several vital factors in contrast to us. Yes, because everyone keeps ramming in, oh, look at Sweden. Prominent among such factors, God, I love the way this guy writes, prominent amongst such factors being a population count that is a mere fraction of ours, 10 million, compared to 67 million, not that we're overcrowded, from a physical geographical perspective, it's significantly vaster than us, thus possessing less density. Precisely. From a public health perspective, the populace bears a mere fraction of the grievous underlying health conditions. That's as far as I've got.
Hang on a second. We will call up the rest of that message. Hang on a second. There. Hold the line, please, caller. There we go. Okay, so from a public health perspective, the populace bears a mere fraction of the grievous underlying health conditions that dwarf our society. From a cultural perspective, the country, in similar fashion to other Scandinavian countries, has natural protocols, insofar social distancing protocols and etiquette. In fact, in other words, it's just the way they naturally behaved.
They are. Swedes, they're better behaved. There's no ifs or buts about it. They're just better behaved. Why? You know what it is? And it all goes back to this. Everyone's a winner. No one's a loser. Everyone's an individual. You have your rights. It's like, what the hell? This guy who was banging on Sunday about the nanobots being injected in with the COVID vaccine that links up to the 5G masks. What? Right? He's going, it's my human rights. Well, it's my human right not to get ill. It's Phil's human right. It's my human right that you wear a sodding mask on the bus and the tube. Get over it. Get over it. There was a story I was told this morning on the phone. Woman in a supermarket. I don't know where it was, somewhere in the UK. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. Woman in a supermarket in the UK. And the supermarket, security or one of the staff said, oh, so it's one way. She goes absolutely raving nuts and smashes every single bottle in the alcohol section. This is what you're dealing with? Because she was asked to move in one direction? Please arrest
my mother
in jail.
Well, there's another one. Well, I wish they would for criminal damage, but there was someone actually my mother witnessed where she was going into a supermarket one time. The security guard quite rightly stopped someone who was about to go in, who wasn't wearing a mask, and saying, excuse me, could you please put a mask on before entering here? And she said very confidently, I don't have to. Okay. And then they let her in. No questions of why do you not have to wear it?
Why?
No question of what stops you wearing it. It's I don't have to. Okay.
Well, the problem is, and I know because people have asked the guards. Hang on, Phil. The people have asked the guards in the supermarkets, even the little ones, like the little co-ops and the little nicer stores. Those little ones, well, the big. I won't go to the big supermarkets anymore. That's history for me. But the little ones, and they say we can't do that. If we try and enforce it, it kicks off. And, they're not trained bodyguards. They're not bouncers on a nightclub in Streatham. They're there to sort of help and, whatever. They're not, they're not trained ninjas. And if it kicks off, they don't want it. That's the problem. And the staff, come on, cut them some slack. Can I see comments, please, Chrissy Holt? Yeah, just go on to comments. You might be switched on to private chat. On the right-hand side of your page, it'll say private chat or comments. Just click on comments. There you go.
It won't say private chat. Private chat.
Private chat for me. That's for you and I, is it?
Exactly. By its definition, private chat is a private chat that others can't see.
Get us. Melanie Hutchins. I say that because it's Melonie. Melanie. It's marvelous. Melanie Hutchins. Somebody said on Sky yesterday. Well, you've fallen at the first hurdle. Somebody said on Sky yesterday he thought people would still kiss and cuddle after 10 o'clock. Rampant sex rearing its ugly head yet again. Okay. I think the point about Sweden's very well made. I'm just so sick of people saying, come on, got to be like Sweden. It's like everyone goes on about New Zealand. There's 3 people and a couple of sheep. Oh, she's fantastic. The greatest prime minister in the history of prime ministers. It's a tiny, physically huge place, people.
No, but I think we should be more like Sweden. I really do think like it. There's absolutely no point. Look, let's be honest. Our way hasn't worked. Case numbers are still rising. So what's the point? Just get on with it.
And do what?
Stop dragging this misery out for everybody. Just let people run riot, do whatever the hell they want, get it over and done with quicker. Seriously, because there's no point. All it's doing is prolonging the agony. Why the hell should we have to go through another 6 months of all of this nonsense for a disease which, by and large, I'm sorry, I know people are going to go nuts again, but look at the numbers if you don't believe
I may not. I've got to wash my hands. I'm really sorry. I touched an envelope and I'm now going nuts. Carry on.
No problem. You go and wash your hands. There you go. Right. Okay. So whilst you're doing that, I was saying that sort of for a disease that, frankly, if you look at the grand scheme of things, the numbers of people who've lost their lives to it, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I've lost people I know to it. Okay. It's horrible. It's horrific. And it makes me very sad to think that those people are no longer around anymore. However, what it does make me sad as well is to think that those people who are no longer around would never in a million years want life to stop in the way that it has done. In a million years, they wouldn't want it. And it shouldn't stop. So I'm personally just absolutely sick of nonsense. These rules, these regulations that we are looking at, that are disrupting life like there is no tomorrow, all for the sake of 0.043% of the world's population who have lost their lives to this virus.
Well, here's the thing, Phil.
Bonkers. Seriously, the numbers. Look at them. If you don't believe me, read the flipping.
Right, we know. Here's the thing. Now, see, this is where I was violently. Hello, Mr. Dave Senior. More drugs at the front door. Must be black BMWs with blacked out windows crawling up your street.
I'm sure that my father is very happy that you mentioned him on radio, but you know that when I'm wearing headphones, he can't hear you.
I don't care. I'm saying it to you.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, anyway, I'll tell him you say hi.
Yeah. Here's the thing. El Jefe in charge of the Hertfordshire cartel. Here's the thing. One of the Four Seasons, I don't mean the hotel chain, I mean Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons died, right? Yesterday. Now, I'm going to do this gently, and I'm being serious, right? And it's upset anyone. You know, I'm sure his family, his children, his grandchildren, could be great-grandchildren. I'm sure they all miss him. He was 92. And they put down, he died of COVID. He was 90 freaking 2. What do you think? How long do you expect people to live? He's 92. Are you going to tell me that was the only thing? He was fit as a fiddle. He was like Gail Nichols and Vaughan Taylor and running 10K every day. Of course he wasn't. He was 92 years old. Don't then say he died of COVID. What else did he die of? Probably a billion other things.
You know how this makes me feel, though, now? Is I feel as if now...
This just drives me mad.
But what I feel like now is that it's almost like everyone's just being told to wait to die. It's the only way I can do it, because there's no living. We're not allowed to live at the moment. And people are going to say, oh, don't be ridiculous. Absolutely, you can live. You wear masks, you go out. I know you can sort of go about your day-to-day business.
It's not. We don't go... When we're going about with anxiety... We're going about with anxiety. That's what's getting people's mental health screwed up. That's what's messing with our heads. It's the endless anxiety. And you look on social media for people who are I'm not talking about the nut jobs. Sorry, but they are. I'm talking about reasonable, normal men and women. and the anxiety is rising. Why? We don't know what, and the worst thing is we don't know what we're anxious about. If you've got something which is palpable, you got an exam coming up, you got a divorce hearing coming up, you got, I don't know what it is, you got an operation coming up, you got a house move. It's something that is tangible. You understand why you're anxious. And then you reach that point and you get through it. So you've moved house, or you've gone to the new school, or you've started your new job, or any of those things. That's realistic. When you don't know what you're anxious about, and they call it in psychology, they call this low-level anxiety. And that low-level anxiety, it's like a buzz in the back of your head the whole time, and it's always there. That's what's freaking people out. That's what's doing it. Are we all having our flu jabs? Damn straight we are. I'm just going to go off for mine. My partner booked my flu jab months and months and months ago, and I'm going on the day before my birthday. God, she knows how to look after me. Well, I got you a flu jab. You expecting a card? Yeah, I'll be all that. We are anxious about fear, says Paul Andrews, like just after 9/11. Fear. That is it. Now, what I'd like to ask our listeners is this. Do you go along with the notion we're just being made to be afraid because that makes us more malleable, more controllable? Or do you just think this is, and I'll give you my view. I don't believe that at all. I honestly believe it's the human nature, it's human psyche. You know, you've turned our world upside down. We're living in something that even in the worst dystopian movies, you didn't think you'd see. That's why people are afraid.
You know what I think it is? I think it comes from years of breeding people to absolutely bypass logic. I think that human nature, I think that human emotion, more importantly, comes above everything else now. So the emotion is given priority over common sense. And that as a result of it, people are mollycoddled their way. Every single person now has to be mollycoddled because otherwise they can't deal with life. Can't deal with whatever life throws at you. You've got to be patted on the back and said, there, it's all okay. When actually, if you think only just a few generations ago, the hardship, the true hardship that some people had to go through for the sake of fighting for their lives. And I'm not talking about a virus. I'm talking about actually knowing that someone might blow them up in the middle of the night. That's the kind of fighting for their life that you're talking about. This is not that. This is not.
Sorry, I was going to post a cartoon that came across my purview late last night. And I thought, I just can't be bothered. Can't be bothered if I'm going to get into a whole row about it. And what it was, they'd taken a 1940s when Londoners, spent night after night after night in the London Underground to protect themselves from the bombs, not knowing if they're going to go back and see their homes, businesses, and worlds physically destroyed. And it said, what would happen if World War II was in 2020? And they had all these people saying things, well, I'm going to leave my light on in my house. It's my right. And other person saying, I don't believe there's any bombs. I'm going upstairs. This is what you're dealing with. It was like pushing it to the extreme. But it would be like the point was made. It was a good point. You know what I mean?
Eric, really cannot bear it.
That's the thing. Can you imagine? Take out Phil for a second. When they used to have the wardens going round, so at night time you had to turn the lights out in the war. My great aunt was a fire warden, for God's sake, and nearly got killed. That's down in Finsbury Park. My great auntie Tessie. All right, so you didn't have an option. So, well, it's my human right. I'm going to leave my lights on. If I want to leave my lights on and give it as a clue to the German bombing forces, that's my right. It's not your damn right. They've told you, switch the freaking light off. You switch the light off. You didn't have a debate about it. You just did it for the good of everybody. You see what I'm saying? I don't see the big, huge difference. It's not a huge ask to just, when we're not in Bird Box, we don't have to be blindfolded. You just wearing a mask. It's not the end of the world. Is it uncomfortable? A little bit. Is it inconvenient? A little bit. Is it the world's worst thing? No. Ask anybody of our listeners that are actually ill, the stuff they have to go through. Speak to Paul Claridge, the stuff he has to go through. That's inconvenient. That's horrible. That's painful. Putting a little bit of fabric over your mouth, no big deal. There we go. Paul Andrews, good point. Do you want to read it?
Right. Paul Andrews says that we can't agree between ourselves, so the idea of global control conspiracy seems impossible. We can't even do a deal with the EU, let alone the whole world. I think what it boils down to is that it's... let's look at it at a real trivial and basic level. Okay. No psychologist, but this is just my observation. This is what I'm thinking. Okay. How many years now have we been telling everybody, there, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. And what does that do to people? Well, if you look at a sport child, look at the way that children are brought up. Okay. You have one child who is under strict discipline. Okay. Knows that they're not going to get their own way just because they scream for it. They have to respect their parents. They've got to do as they're told. Simple as. And then you've got a child who screams, gets what they want and keeps getting what they want because they know that if they scream loud enough, they'll get what they want. Who do you think is going to grow up to be a better citizen? Who do you think is going to grow up to be more compassionate, more understanding towards other people? And it's so obviously going to be the person who is trained from a very early age that they are not the center of the world, and that there is not, just because you think one way doesn't mean that everyone else thinks the same. And it also doesn't mean for a second that just because you scream loud enough, you can get what you want. It's not rocket science. An idiot like me knows this. How do others not know it?
I'll tell you what's causing the biggest controversy this morning. You know what's causing the biggest controversy? What's in Phil's dad's cupboard? Julia Hersey has gone with Pringles. Wise. Good move. Very good move. Could be Pringles. I think they're probably a little more sophisticated than that. I would go with something like, and I'm going out on a limb here, honey roasted cashews. Now you're talking my language. Fabergé eggs.
Fabergé eggs? You're going to be joking me. Fabergé eggs.
Fabergé eggs. I bloody love it. Anyway, this is going to be the new competition. We're starting it on Friday, I've decided. Here we go. Right, Paul Claridge. Have we got time? Yeah, I can squeeze it in. As a person who works outside, you all know what Paul does by now. I feel I have no protection. My colleagues and I have been told that we must wear masks and gloves when handing out papers to the public. We're even told to hold the papers at arm's length and persuade customers to take them by extending their arms, making us then 2 meters apart. Yet at least 95% of the people don't. Jesus. 95% of the people don't wear masks or gloves, have no inclination to extend their arms to take a paper. Jeez.
Alex Lichtenfeld, I'm in Italy. Everyone is wearing a mask. Everyone with no complaints. It is British mentality. What is it about us? The mentality is completely different.
Yeah, because they're thick. They're thick and bolshy. They're thick, bolshy, and got a bleeding chip on their shoulder, and just think that there's one. Just ridiculous. You know, they just don't care, and they make everything into a political statement when it's not a political statement.
I really do think.
Chrissy Holt's guess.
I really do think it's as simple as introduce the concept of discipline again. Introduce the concept of discipline from a very early age. Make sure that people know rank, respect rank, and realize that sometimes things don't go the way you want in life, and that's just the way it is. You can't do anything about it. You can't change it. It is not your entitlement to change it. It's just end of. Sometimes we don't get our way. And I don't understand why this is so complicated. But I do know that if it was to change, there's no doubt in my mind that it would mean that we as a society are far more civilized towards one another.
When it kicks off with Tony Blair, going, you can't have races at school where someone's a winner. Everyone's got to be given a prize. Life isn't like that. I would have loved to have been a Formula One racing driver for Ferrari. It obviously wasn't going to happen. I don't have the skill. I don't have the training. I don't walk around moping about it. It would have been great. You know, I'd love to have been the drummer with the Rolling Stones. That wasn't going to happen either. Because life doesn't work. Now, Martin, I don't know whether you're just saying it or you mean it.
I mean it.
Bring back national service. Now, here's the thing about national service. Here's the thing. No government would ever be elected if, as part of their plank, as they say in America, part of their platform, they say, and we're bringing back national service. They wouldn't. I can totally understand it. But I got to tell you, no government in the world. My mum never worked, says Chrissy Holt. She was always there. I think that's some of the problem. We were taught right and wrong and respect for elders. It's not helpful when mum's got 3 jobs. If dad is still around, he's working as well, or you're a single parent, which is very, very tough. Believe me, I'm not making a moral point. It's very tough being a single parent, you know, and especially if you're trying to hold down possibly 2 or 3 jobs. Yes, that is going to cause enormous impact. No 2 ways about it.
Right. Friday from 11 o'clock, we will return with our full roster of guests. So we look forward to seeing you then. But sadly, we're flat out of time today. Thank you very much indeed to everybody who has commented, joined in, and just made the show what it is. We appreciate you. Thank you. Stay happy. See you Friday at 11. Bye.